Hey everybody, we're going to be talking about probability today, and more specifically using a tree diagram to understand. Now let's review for a minute. Probability is something that the likelihood something will happen over how many different events could actually happen. Okay? And so for our first example, let's take a die, a six-sided die. And we want to find out how many outcomes can we get by rolling the die one time and getting a 2. Alright, so let's look at this, okay? Now, how many 2s are on a die? That's what we need to know. There's only one. So that would be our numerator. And now how many times or how many different outcomes can we get by rolling a die one time? Well, it's a six-sided die. So the probability of rolling a 2 is 1/6. Now you can turn that into a decimal, okay, or a percent. Doesn't really matter. Alright everybody. We're going to look at probability a little bit more, and we're going to examine this tree diagram. I have a coin in my hand, and it has a heads and it has a tail, so it has 2 outcomes. Okay, so we're going to flip a coin. Okay, now we're also going to spin a little spinner, and it's going to be a 3-colored spinner. Okay, kind of looks like this. Now I'm going to try to proportion this out. For us to have a true probability, each of these sides have to be equal. Okay, and let's say it's 3 colors, and so you can spin a purple one. You can spin a pink, and you can spin a blue. Alright? And so now we want to take a look at the probability of flipping a coin and then spinning a certain color. Okay? So let me write that down here. First I have a heads or a tails. Okay? And that is 2 outcomes, but we can only get one of those. So only a heads or tails can happen, but we have two total events that can happen. Okay? But then we have something in another imaginary column here, is the outcomes of spinning this wheel. So if we get a heads, then we can have 3 outcomes because we have 3 colors. Okay? And then in the tails, we could also have 3 outcomes. So if I flip a heads and then spin, I could get a blue, I could get a pink, and I could get a purple. Alright, so let's look at something. Let me back up a little bit here. Let's look at the probability of choosing a heads and a purple. What would that equal? Okay, put the equal sign down here. Okay, so in the first event we would need to well, before we do that, let's look at one more thing here. Let me erase this. We don't need this anymore. Just for visual sake, let's look at this. So here we could get a heads and a blue. Okay? The second outcome, we could get flip a head and then spin a pink. We could also flip a heads and then spin a purple. Okay? Oh, we can flip a coin and get a tails and then spin a blue. The fifth event, we could tails and then we could spin a pink. And lastly, we could flip a tail side and then spin a purple. So in this situation, there are 6 total outcomes, which would go in the denominator. But in this instance, we're looking for just one event that could happen, and that would go in the numerator. So let's look at that. Heads to purple. Only one event. So what we would do is we would put that in the numerator. And then we counted 6 possible outcomes, which would end up being in the denominator. Okay? Alright, let's keep going with this self-discovery. So we're going to expand on what we're doing, and we're going to look at 3 events. Okay? So we still got the coin, okay, and we're going to do the 3-colored spinner, and then we're going to add something. We're going to add some marbles, okay? So, still got this spinner. Remember, all these areas inside have to be equal. And then we've got this bag. And inside this bag, let's say that there are, well, let's say 3 blues, 3 blue marbles, and 1 pink marble. Okay? So we're going to flip a coin first, then we're going to spin a spinner, and then we're going to pick, reach in there and pull out a color. Now remember, to get the pink, there's a 1 in 4 chance, because there's a total of 4 marbles in the bag, and I can choose only 1. So there's a 1 in 4 chance. To pull a blue, where I have 3 chances, or 3 blue marbles that I can pull out of a total of 4. So that would be 3/4 a chance that I will pull a blue. Okay, so let's look at this now. Let's start out with the heads and the tails. Okay, and then let's go our 3 possible on that. Okay, and I forgot to do the colors of that. We will do pink, blue, and we'll do purple. Okay, all right. Okay. Now, so the first event is heads or tails, and the second event is spinning a spinner. And so far we've got 6 possible events. But then now we've got to pull from the bag of marbles. Okay? And so let's look at that. What do we say the total number of outcomes for the marbles is 4, right? So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we get a heads, and then we spin a purple, then let's fill it in. We could get a pink, or we could get a blue, blue, blue. If we get a heads, spin a blue, and then once again, a pink, a blue, a blue, a blue. And we can go down the line for this. Everything is the same here. When we get to the bag, we either pick, we have a 1 in 4 chance of picking a pink, and a 3 out of 4 chance of picking a blue. Now, do you see how easy it is to look at a tree diagram? And by the way, on the test, you're going to see things like flipping a coin, a 3-colored spinner, and some marbles. Those things show up on a test. Those items. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we want to try to find the probability of something, okay? So, let's try to find the probability of a heads, a purple, and a pink. Okay, what is the probability of flipping a heads, then spinning a purple, and then picking a pink marble out of the bag? Alright, let's look at it, okay? Heads, spin a purple, spin a pink. There's only one outcome that's possible. So we would put a 1 in the numerator. Now, how many total outcomes before I even flip the coin do we have? Well, let's count them. We've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 possible outcomes. And we put that in the denominator. Okay? And so let's do another one to make it a little more complicated, okay? Let's say we're looking for the probability of tails spinning a blue and picking up blue marble. Okay? So once again, I would come over here. We're looking for a tails. We're wanting to spin a blue. And then we're wanting to pick a blue marble out. There are three ways I can do that. There are 3 different scenarios I can do that. So I would put a 3. And now the total outcomes haven't changed. It's still 24 of them. So now we want to reduce that, and it would be, there's a 1 in 8 chance that I could flip a tails, spin a blue, and then pick a blue marble out. Alright, so what did we learn today? We talked about probability, and we used the tree diagram to kind of understand how probability works. The most important thing is to remember the denominator. The denominator is the total possible outcomes you could have. All of them. And then the numerator is what is that chance of one event happening. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.